Hey team, welcome back to the channel, man. As always, I am so stoked and pumped up to see you. So I did have an email come in that kind of sent me. We had some conversation, some dialogue about a subject area on an MOI, and this particular MOI is really fascinating. It's the first time I think I've ever seen this before, where it doesn't explicitly discuss Army doctrine, right? For example, it says, this one voting member has the topics of sharp and EO. Man, got it, right? 600-20. And then shoot and move is the next board members, and then survive and adapt, and then adapt, TIMS and counseling, and then communicate, and the golden triangle. And so normally, you'd see an MOI like I've shown you in the past, where it specifically relates, Army themed ideas, right? Doctrine. So not just shoot and move. It's really broad because we're talking about shoot, move, and communicate. So we're talking about basic warrior tasks and getting out the green book and understanding what's in all this. But there's also a lot of regulations in all of these things as well. And I think this is kind of interesting twist on an MOI. But then this last one was the point of discussion that we kind of went back and forth on, and it was communicate and the golden triangle. Now, I told this guy, I'm not sure. Let me pull up this other message here. What we're talking about here exactly, because it's not doctrinal, right? Communicate and the golden triangle is not a doctrinal statement. And so I think this is kind of maybe, if it was me, as an AR comment to this battalion, like I may change that up to something that's a little bit more MRT, like some active listening, if that's what we're trying to get after. But if you do a quick search for the golden triangle of communication or whatever, you will see that you're going to find three particular skills that we're going to talk about a little bit here today. And I'm glad and happy to do so. I'm glad I was able to share some email correspondence with this guy, and wish you the best of luck. But I don't want to use names, right? Because I don't know. But hey, and on that note, right? So look, you can find me a couple different ways, right? You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on my Patreon. All these links are either way up top in the channel header or down in the description. And however you need to, man, if you need to, I would love for you to join the Stoker Squad on Patreon. But to be honest with you, if you shoot me an email and you're like, hey, Stoke, can you review my SRB? Can you look at this bio? Can you give me some hand or help with this or that or the third? I'm not going to say no unless you send me $2. It would just be retarded. So however you can, you can shoot me an email at stokermatic@gmail.com. Again, you can shoot me messages, any other means that I've said to in the past. And if you need some help, brother, man, that's what this community is all about. So leave some comments down below, and we can generate some discussion there, or just reach out however you need to. And look in the comments, because you may see somebody saying or asking a question that you have some expertise in. And your words of wisdom can be exactly what they're looking for. So as it relates to the golden triangle, I think what we're going to find are three particular words, and that's listen, ask, and summarize. So one of the things that we do really poorly as just people, right? I think we're horrible at this, at the art of communication, because we're constantly talking and sending out messages as opposed to being available to listen and to hear messages. Does that make sense? I think that we need to become better active listeners and to listen and hear more than what we are saying and speaking. I think if we can do that, we can probably try to find a way to break through a lot of the barriers, right? I hope that makes sense. But do that, right? Learn how to listen more. And listen to what people are saying in response to you or to their world, to their lives, right? Ask some questions. Man, don't ask closed-ended questions. Ask open-ended questions. So a closed question demands a specific answer, like what is 1 + 1? It's a closed answer, and so the answer is 2, right? The answer is never going to be 5 or 6 or 3,445.137, right? It's never going to be that way. But if I ask, how did that make you feel? That's a very open question. And it's open to the perceptions and the reality of the person that we're talking with. When we ask an open-ended question like that, it invites story. It invites us to become participants in the lives of somebody else that we're having this conversation with. And that, my friends, will help keep boundaries, it'll remove them, right? At the end of the day, it'll keep doors open. Because what we're not doing is we're not asking the answers that we want to hear. Maybe you've been in a conversation with somebody who did that, and they were always asking you questions, but you knew that they knew that there was a specific answer that they were looking for. How frustrating can that be? Man, that's horrible. So ask the questions and then listen to what they're saying. And then, this is a key point I learned many moons ago, and that's to summarize, right? So when somebody says something to you, because you need to understand that communication comes basically three different parts, right? What was said, what was heard, and what was meant to be heard. And a lot of times we can fix a lot of things if we take a second and add the step in of summarizing so we can understand what was meant to be said. So you can do that by summarizing. Say, I hear you saying X, Y, and Z. Maybe, if we're doing like an op order brief and you're doing a confirmation brief or a back brief, right? You do a back brief to ensure that you understand what is being ordered and directed. You want me to take the hill? Gotcha. No, I don't want you to take the hill. I told you to do X, Y, and Z. It's okay. Why don't you say that? Right? It's a golden triangle of communication, right? Ask, listen, and summarize. Those three things. I think if we do those three things a little bit gooder, we can probably find that we're going to be better NCOs to those who are in our charge, because we're going to be inviting our subordinates into this walk with us as opposed to just forcing and manhandling them to accomplish the task. Maybe you've had an NCO that you've worked for like that before. I know I have. Hey, just a quick short video to talk about this. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. We can keep this conversation rolling, man. I appreciate all you guys. You stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.